You know what makes me really sad about like 23andMe and Ancestry and all that stuff? So besides the fact that we know that these people work with law enforcement and are doing all kinds of weird minority report shit like that's gonna definitely affect us in the future, the fact that like a lot of us of African descent are clinging to like these little percentages of countries we've never been to from like 10 people ago, rather than acknowledging and accepting the very real culture and history that we have built in this country here for hundreds of years, that to me is extremely sad. It's different if you are an immigrant or you have immigrant parents or something like where you actually have a personal connection and history and to the culture and that it's actually a part of your life that has informed your life. That's not what I'm talking about. But the fact that we are taught to cling to little percentages of ideas of countries and cultures that we're not actually a part of, because there is an American black culture that is shared. There's like jokes that there's ways like we can finish certain sentences based on like the first couple of words. There is some really universal stuff about being an American black person, but those things are not true of the 54 countries in Africa. And furthermore, we are playing into what the overculture wants, which is for black people to be people with no nation. And we do have a nation. It's the one we're sitting in. Every type of music, most of the food, like so many things. I mean, even to the scientific advancements, like, you know, your Hidden Figures type stuff, and the light bulb, and the helicopter, and all of these things that were built with innovations from black people. Don't get me wrong, I understand being disgusted with America as a country, and being made to feel as if we don't belong here by how we have been treated. But the thing that they cannot take away from us is the fact that we have been here and that we are woven into the fabric of this country. All the things that are memorable about this country have come largely from black people. And also from collaborations between black people and so-called white people from every place. Like everything has been given these constructs, these binary constructs, which are of course created for capitalism, for people to make money. Like it's not real. It's always important to remember that, like borders, race is something that is not real, that has very real effects. Like, borders aren't real, but like, try crossing the US-Mexico border. But more importantly, we should not allow ourselves to be sundered from our culture. And also, I'm just gonna go ahead and say this. It's weird that we expect people of different races from the same country not to share culture. Like, that's another one of the weird little mind games that has been pulled on all of us. Because how do you really get culture? Do you believe that it comes in your blood? Are you a racehorse? Are you some sort of purebred dog? Or do you get culture by absorbing it every day through the things around you, the people around you? And do we not expect white people to adopt some black culture when black culture is most of the culture that has defined America? I am not, of course, advocating for the theft of black culture and, you know, the co-optation of it without giving us our propers. Obviously not. But I'm also saying that we shouldn't be so dogmatic and a little ridiculous about it. Quoting the great Childish Gambino, every black you're not black enough is a white they're all the same. And if we are deconstructing, really trying to deconstruct and understand the world that we live in and actually want to get free, it's going to take having some difficult conversations about how, yes, there are some differences and some things that need to be held sacred. Hair, for example. But there are some elements of culture that you get by living in a place and around certain people. And the fact that, you know, the wrong side of the train tracks is, like, the reason that's a cliche is because the train tracks were put there to separate black people from white people on purpose. But, like, train tracks aren't enough to separate people. And being willing to have these conversations without jumping down each other's throats or not, like, understanding that some people are obviously racist and being weird about it, and some people are just, they really have questions like, hold on, I grew up around all black people, and like, this is the way that I talk because of who I grew up around. Like, is there a space or a grace for that? And I don't know what the answer is, but I think it's something we have to at least be willing to talk about.